Good Sunday morning, friends and neighbors, and welcome to Real Estate Radio with Kelly Warren and Associates. Friends, this is where the Valley's favorite real estate agent comes to tell you everything you need to know about buying or selling your home. Now, here are your hosts this morning, Kelly Warren and Jim Warren.
Good morning, and welcome to Real Estate Radio with Kelly Warren and Associates, where we discuss real estate right here in our Valley. I'm Kelly Warren, and I'm in the studio this morning with my husband, Jim.
Good morning, Kelly.
Hey. So, do you know what I'm ready for this week?
Hey, what?
I was trying to do it more smooth, and here you go, like, cutting it down already.
It's so much more fun my way.
Anyhow, I am ready for the kids to go to school for 5 days.
What do you mean?
They had, last week, they had Thursday and Friday off for whatever reason. Then they had the weekend off. Then they had Monday off for President's Day. Then they had a snow day. Like, I feel like these kids
Never go to school.
Yeah. Then like the one day that they had to go to school, they're like, I have a sore throat. Like,
it's ridiculous.
So I've got good vibes out there for this week for 5 full days of school.
What are we going to do with all of our free time?
I'm going to work. I'm going to sell some houses. The kids aren't going to be in my way.
Oh, that's so funny. You're a trip.
Anyhow, so real estate wise today, I was thinking we could talk about something fun. And my idea for the week, bear with me here, unique properties.
Oh, that's a good idea.
So we listeners, we did not plan this out too well, meaning Jim wasn't involved in the planning. So I just took over and went on a whim and got some notes and some things together. And so,
so this is going to be a fun week. Kids are going to be at school. We're going to talk about fun houses, fun properties.
Mm-hmm. So we can make a goal to just have a great week.
Yeah, good deal.
It's the end of February. Spring is coming, maybe.
Hopefully.
So when I say unique property to you, what do you think? What is a unique property to you?
Something that's not cookie cutter, something that's a little bit different, whether it's, has a random addition or something unique on the property, like a creek or a river that runs by it. Things like that, I think, are very unique. So,
okay, I'm with you here. So a unique property would be anything other than the usual. And so for the Mahoning Valley in our area, the average sale price is $115,000, right around there. So anything that's ridiculously low in value or a very high end, a luxury property in our area can be a unique property.
Yeah.
Or the average home in the area is, a 3-bedroom, 1.5 bath with a 1 or 2 car garage, a cookie cutter home in a cookie cutter neighborhood, like you said.
Yeah.
So something that has a lot of acreage or has a horse barn or has, like you said with the additions, sometimes the additions can be a little bit like non-conforming use where maybe a house was added onto, and sometimes you walk through those houses and you're like, what is this room I'm in?
Yeah.
So, and it probably met the needs of the owners that lived there at the time. And, as it goes to sell, it could be a unique property. Okay. Some other examples would be maybe multifamily. When a multifamily is in a multifamily area, then it's regular. But if you've got, a duplex or a sixplex in the middle of a residential neighborhood, then it can be unique. Something with various outbuildings or a home business kind of thing.
Multiple houses on a property?
Yes, we have a couple of those. Something that's zoned B2, where you could have a business in your home, that residential, commercial kind of zoning together. Anything with a variance of any sort. Even in our area, lakefront property is unique because we're not a water area. Yeah. Equestrian properties, home businesses, historic homes can be unique properties.
Okay.
So we've sold all of these things. We have some of these things listed right now. So we're going to talk about some of ours, and we're going to talk about what to do if you have a unique property and you're considering sell it. Step one, obviously, would be give us a call. Kelly Warren and Associates, 330-717-2689, or online at kellysoldit.com. That's kellysoldit.com. So
I feel like that's the easy part about selling your home. Just call you.
Call me, I'll do the rest.
Right.
You don't have to worry about it. That's what we do best. So I've got here, I made a list of a couple of tips for if you have a unique property and you're the homeowner of it and you want to sell it.
That's a good idea.
So let's go through these first. So unique property being anything that is different than the majority of homes in the area. So like the things that we talked about, it might be because of the layout, it might be because of the value, it might be because of some extravagant features. So the first step, like I said, give us a call, because from there we can really handle things for you. And the second step is that you've got to use unique marketing for a unique property. And that's why you should be calling us, because we're not just going to put it in the MLS and hope that somebody finds a buyer for it. We're going to do whatever it takes to market this property to its full extent.
Different avenues, different websites that we go to, different areas that we market and things like that. So it's not just the MLS, but there's a whole ton of different specific things that people are looking for with the internet today. Like it's adjusted marketing in real estate so drastically in the last 15, 20 years that a lot of people don't realize. And if someone only wants a house that has X amount of property, well, they can go to a website that only has houses with X amount of property. So I think that's really neat. And they do it for all kinds of different things: horse properties, land properties, old properties, like different types of characters and stuff like that. So I think that's really neat. That's one thing that we do that's really cool.
Yeah. I did some research online, and it said that the number one most important thing to do when selling a unique property is to hire a top real estate agent. So, but when I continued looking at that, it actually said for any home, not just a unique property, top agent, top marketing has to be involved. End of story. There's a very strong possibility of home sale failure if you're not hiring the right agent, because if you've got the wrong agent and they don't put forward the effort or the marketing to get the property sold, if they just sit back and pray that it sells, there's a good likelihood that it wouldn't sell.
Well, and there's a lot of times that they don't know how.
True.
They don't have the resources or the access that we do, that a lot of other people don't.
Yep. Okay, so with the marketing for a unique property specifically, high quality photos are very important.
Of course.
So not just taking pictures with a cell phone, not just taking regular pictures, but specific pictures to play up whatever aspect of the home is unique, or the property or the business or whatever it is that we're selling that has those unique features. So this week we listed a house, and maybe we'll go through our home pics as we go through these.
Do you want to do those now?
Let's not do them in a row. Let's do them as we talk about different kind of property.
Okay. Which one?
Spice things
about?
up a little bit for you. So we listed a house this week. It's a horse property, an equestrian property. 1061 Sodom Hutchings Road in Vienna. It's Matthews School District. It's listed at $550,000. It is just above 4,000 square feet, 4,400 square feet, 13 and a half acres. What is unique about this one, other than the square footage, the price, and the acreage, which I already said are unique.
Right.
But this property has a huge barn. It's a horse property. So it's got a 15-stall barn. It has a tack room. It has an indoor riding arena. It has an indoor heated little den or waiting area.
Okay.
Has a bathroom in there.
In the
you're
barn?
out there working all day with the horses. You don't want to have to run back to the house to use the restroom. I thought that was genius.
Right.
It has heated, self-filling watering dishes for the horses, which
So
is
they
so
won't
important.
freeze.
Right. You got buckets of water, they freeze, right? So I thought that was great too. And then you don't have to keep going out there and refilling them either.
That's so cool.
Yes. So tons of great features with this house. It is going to be available. We're in the coming soon phase here. It's available right now. I'm pulling it up online on our website, kellysoldit.com. So where I'm going with this is, you've got a property like this, you have got to have great photos, and not just good photos of the front of the house or the yard like we typically do, but let's show off that barn. Half the value in this property is in that barn,
Oh, yeah.
So we did the regular standard professional photos that we normally do. We did aerial and drone photography on this house because now you're showcasing acreage and we're talking about different buildings. So maybe you want to see where the buildings are in relation to each other. So those shots from above are great with that.
Yeah.
And
so
then,
you know how far the walk is to the barn and to the different buildings and whatnot.
yeah. And the
That's
different
smart.
fenced in areas, the different pastures. You want to see like how much land is fenced in and where is that in relation to the barns and the houses.
That makes sense.
And there's woods around it and how the neighbors' homes look and things like that are of value with the aerial photography. And then we have the Matterport, the 3D video tour. So this thing is sharp.
That's
I think
cool.
we might end up doing a whole segment on the radio one day about Matterport. So I won't get too into it right now, but
You can basically walk through the house.
it's fantastic for anybody out of the area. So we're putting this property on. My next point here is internet traffic on these unique properties. But so we're putting this house on some different horse websites and horse publications so that it gets its full exposure to the people that are looking for a home like this.
Right.
And these pictures and then these 3D walkthrough videos being on all those sites are going to give it its best presentation so that people who are looking for something like this find it. If I advertised this property only in, say I advertised it in the Mahoning Valley Parent Magazine and, it's going home with preschoolers' parents, they're not necessarily the buyers for this, But if I advertise it in the equestrian magazines and horseproperty.net, where it's going to be in front of people who are buying properties like this, it makes much more sense.
Of course. Of course.
So internet is number 2 here. You've got to have a high traffic website, kellysoldit.com. You've got to drive traffic there, so you got to tell people to go to it. So we talk about it on radio, on TV, on billboard, on social media. I think I say kellysoldit.com more than I say anything else.
It's just the easiest way to contact us.
It is. Sometimes it's funny. Jim knows because he's married to me, gets to go out with me.
Lucky me.
Sometimes I'll go into a restaurant or something, and the waitress will take the credit card and go, "Are you kellysoldit.com?" Yes, I am that website. So,
You're so funny.
but we put these houses on our website and on the public websites, and we do the video tour on there. So if it's somebody out of the area looking for a property like this, they click on that Matterport tour and they can really go room to room and check it out.
Right. So that's really cool. The other good thing, so with the horse properties, especially around here, since we got the racetrack in Austintown not that long ago,
Yes.
a few years ago, so that's good. And what else was I going to say about that? There was something I was thinking. Oh, so this property, it has 15 stalls, you said?
Yes.
So that's huge.
Yes.
Some people like to have 1 or 2 horses, but to have 15, so you could also make money off of this.
Yes,
could board
you
horses
can board horses there. And I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, I know you guys will. You can email me if I'm giving wrong information. Ask Kelly at kellysoldit.com. But I believe that it cost somewhere between $100 to $200 a month to board a horse, to own yourself and, the sawdust, the food, caring for them, that sort of thing. But you would pay to board a horse somewhere between $300 to $500 a month. So if you were boarding 15 horses there, you could really be making $300-400 a month per horse there. So it could be a money-making property for somebody.
Well,
yes.
yeah, of course. So I think that's a good idea. That's my thing. Like, I always look at a property like, other than living there, what else can I do with it? I don't know. I guess that's just how I always look at,
Certainly.
a property when I'm looking at them. So
Yeah. Well, and you could teach horse lessons and things like that there too, so you could make additional money that way. Yeah. If you loved horses and you owned 1 or 2 of your own, and then it would pay for yours and make you some other money back.
Yeah, that's really
I
nice.
want you to talk about your 2 home picks, because then that'll take me into my next couple of points for advertising these unique properties.
Okay, so my 2 home picks are 201 South Broad Street in Canfield. So it's right at the end of the green. It's that big house right
Yes.
there. That house is beautiful. Mm-hmm. Every time I drive by it, I think that is just got to be an amazing house inside. I haven't been in it yet, and I really need to schedule a showing for it and go inside.
You need
this
to go
house.
walk through it because it is very cool.
I know
What's
I'm
the
gonna
other
fall
one that
in
you
love
have?
with it
Because
is the
these 2
problem.
go hand in hand.
So the other one I have is 7 and 9 Maple Street in Canfield. So it's a duplex, and that's Maple Street's on that corner right there by the one on Broad Street, correct?
Yes.
So it's
it is right behind the one on Broad Street. So it's the corner of Maple and Broad is where the big house is, and right behind it on Maple is where the duplex is. The duplex was originally the carriage house for the Broad Street house.
Nice.
And what's unique about this house is the age, the size. It's such a prominent house, such a prominent building sitting there at the Green in Canfield. It is zoned the B2, so you can have a home business there. Great for something like an accountant or insurance sales or anything like that where you've got some customers, but more of an office setting. You could probably do some sort of a daycare or a dance studio or I don't know what. All kinds of businesses could take place there.
Yeah, really. That's awesome.
But one of the tips here is don't be afraid to skimp on the staging on a unique property. So whatever aspect it has that you can play up, do so. So if it's got a home business feature or if it's got any kind of additional feature, whatever addition you put on the property, whatever spin you've want on it, don't be afraid to set it up like that so that the buyers get the full idea when they're looking at it.
Yeah.
Staging is not something that's so popular in our area. It's really not something that we talk about a lot. But with these unique properties, you've got to have some out-of-the-box thinking with them.
Yeah, and I think seeing someone else's vision can help the next buyer say, oh, yeah, instead of it being X, but I could very easily make it Y. So I think that's really cool as well.
Well, and that leads right into our next point, which is understand who the potential buyers are and target those buyers. So you need to know who would be looking to buy a property like that, and you need to advertise in those places to those people, and that's something that we do. We're going to get ready to take our break. You can email us, askkelly@kellysoldit.com if you have any questions about anything real estate related. We love to answer questions for our listeners. We're going to read a few of those when we come back from the break, but there is always time for you to email in more. You can send them throughout the week, and we'll read them on next week's show as well. You can also give us a call or a text at 330-717-2689 about buying or selling real estate. And you can visit us online at kellysoldit.com to check out any of the properties that we've been talking about this morning. We'll have a couple more for you when we come back.
Hey, if you need to sell your home without all the headaches most people experience, hey, Sean Hannity here to tell you that after years of buying, selling, investing millions of dollars in real estate, that all real estate agents do not operate the same way. Now, what makes the difference between a home selling fast and for top dollar and one that sits on the market for months and doesn't even sell at all? Well, you have a great American right in your backyard that I trust if I needed to sell my home. I'm talking about Kelly Warren with Kelly Warren and Associates Real Estate Solutions. She services the entire Mahoning Valley, attracts hundreds of buyers every week, and sells an average 3 homes every week. Kelly spends thousands of dollars every month and creates demand for your home, which makes it sell faster and for more money. Don't play games with your home. Call Kelly at 330-717-2689. That's 330-717-2689 or online at kellysoldit.com. That's kellysoldit.com.
Welcome back to Real Estate Radio with Kelly Warren and Associates, where we are talking about real estate right here in our valley. And today we're talking about unique properties. So if you were just joining us, thanks for tuning in. We are discussing some different properties that we have on the market and discussing what you can do if you own a unique property and you need to get it sold. Step number 1, of course, was give us a call or a text. kellysoldit.com, 330-717-2689. So we left off with doing some staging on your unique property and really playing up the great aspects of it so the buyers can see that. And I've got 2 more before we go into our questions from our listeners. So one of the next things that you can do is to understand who the potential buyers are and really target them. So that's something that we do. We do predictive data analytics. When we take in a property, we like to figure out who the buyer is going to be for it. Even if it is that cookie cutter home in a cookie cutter neighborhood, or if it's a regular condo, we usually try and understand the average age for the buyer, or average income for that house, and gear our advertising, maybe more social media for a 2-bedroom Cape Cod that's going to be a starter home, and maybe more newspaper advertising for a ranch condo that's going to be a retirement home,
Right.
So we try and find our buyers in the places that our buyers are looking, and that's huge when you've got a unique property.
Us in our marketing company, we've done a lot of research on this kind of stuff, and that does help us, and probably the reason why we've sold the most homes in the valley this year or last year. So that's one of the things that people don't realize is not only do we do that and focus on that, we still do the normal broad marketing
Yes.
that everybody else does, but then we really focus on, like, hey, you know, a kid right out of high school, not even going to college, is not going to go in and buy a $500,000 home.
Right.
So we're going to really focus on what's going to happen across the board for the most part. So it's pretty neat to see, you know, what we're doing in our digital marketing and our regular marketing, how that works.
Right. Our standard marketing plan is 5 times better than any other agents is, you know, with their basic marketing plan. But then we go above and beyond. For example, if you owned a property on a golf course, so it was a golf property, we would advertise that in places that you would find golfers. We wouldn't advertise that to boat enthusiasts, you know? So we're...
I'm both, just so you know.
So maybe we could cross-market.
You would catch me one way or another.
Okay. So we could find Jim. But anyway, my point that I'm getting to is we're going to find your buyer where your buyer is. We're going to be looking for them in those specific places to get your unique property sold. One more tip that I have along this about the value of a unique property. We as real estate agents give a comparative market analysis, a CMA, let you know what your property is worth. Sometimes with a unique property, it's hard to pull those comps and hard to understand, you know, hey, maybe the outbuilding or the land or whatever is worth so much more than just the regular part of the house would be. So it might be a good idea on a special property to have an appraisal done ahead of time so that we can really understand the value of the property, and we can pass that along to the buyers. We can have it available for showings to show them where we came up with the value for the property.
Yeah, that's one of those things. So there's a lot of different ways that value is determined on a property. And appraisers, you know, they have to go through specific classes. They have to keep working, and they're not going to be happy, or they're not going to be able to keep a job if they appraise something way off basis, rather too high or too low, and then there winds up being an issue down the road.
Right.
So they're very good and very specific on how
It's
they
an unbiased opinion.
Yeah, how they build value, and it's really cool, and I think that is very important in some cases.
So my last thought on this unique property stuff before we move on to our questions from our listeners is just to understand that your unique property might not be for everybody. You know, there's going to be that one special buyer out there for everybody, but a unique property is not for the masses. So you might need to have tough skin. You might get a few feedback comments that you don't love. But the goal is to weed out all of those people and find that one right buyer for the property. Yep. And at Kelly Warren Associates, we can certainly do that for you. We'd love to help you. If you are thinking about selling your unique property, give us a call at 330-717-2689.
Or KellySoldIt.com.
Jim was like bobbing his head as I was saying the phone number. Our kids, when they were little, this phone number before it was the business phone number has been my phone number for 20 some years. So it's the phone number we taught our kids when they went to kindergarten.
It was so fun.
We had a little song for it.
Yeah.
You want to sing it?
How did it go? 717-2689. That's the number that I call mine.
You kind of said that. I was really expecting something.
Oh, you wanted a whole jingle? You want me to stand
you can
up
move on to our questions from our listeners.
Too funny. Okay, so I got a handful here, but I want to go to one that I think is unique since we're talking about unique properties.
Okay.
So I thought this was a good question. I always think they're always good questions.
You do.
This gentleman from Canfield asked, if I plant my garden this spring and put my house up for sale, if it sells before August, can I come back and tend to the garden and share in the bounty?
You won't believe this. I've had this question before, like not here on the show, but in the last 18 years, I have had this question a handful of times.
Yeah, there's a lot of work into a garden, a field, you know.
Well, and if you're an avid gardener and you've been doing this at your home for years, they don't like to give it up when it's time to sell the house. Yeah. They still want to, if the house takes a couple of months to sell, they want to be there for it. Yeah. And there's different crops. I can't remember exactly what, but there are different crops that come different times. Like you plant garlic like in the fall and it comes up in the summer or vice versa. So it's like I've already planted this and spent my time and my energy doing it. And when it comes up, I want to get the reward. Yeah. So, it's not the first time I've had the question. Anyway,
so
the
does
answer,
it fall back to the contract?
Correct. The answer is
I'm getting good at this.
depends on what we do with the contract. So as long as the buyer's okay with it, and as long as we put it on the contract and they don't mind you coming on to what would then be their property,
Correct.
and taking what would then be their plants. So we could have a provision for that in the contract. And as long as all parties agree, I don't see why not. And if for some reason they do not agree, maybe they pay you an extra couple $1,000s for the house and you go buy some store-bought veggies.
There you go. Store-bought veggies, really.
I know, right? The garden stands on the side of the road.
Right. You're so funny. Okay. Stacy Ann writes in, is it better to replace the roof now or give buyers a credit? So,
to me, and I think this is maybe a varying opinion, to me, if you have the money and the roof needs done, replace it now.
well, here's my thoughts on that. If it's causing a problem, fix the roof.
Yeah. And
because it will only decrease the value of your property
Right.
very rapidly.
right. If you have the money and the roof is an issue now, go ahead and replace it.
Yeah.
If you were in a financial situation where you don't have the cash, but you have equity in the home, and with the home sale, you can replace it, we could write up a listing agreement like that. You could let buyers know, I'll be taking care of it at the closing. Money could be escrowed for it. But it can also be a turnoff to some buyers to come and see a problem rather than seeing a nice home.
Right.
So if the money is available to you and you know that it's something that needs done and you have the time and the funds and the energy, go ahead and do it. That would be the better option. The other option is an available option. If that's what you need to do, then that's what you need to do.
Yeah. So there's always a way to work it out and figure it out however you need to. But this one, it would just depend. I would say that with most issues with a home, whether it be a roof, electrical, anything, like if you can update it and get it up to code, because we get a lot of houses with old electrical in them. Mm-hmm. And that's one thing that even the lenders say, hey, that has to be fixed.
Right. The roof could also be a lending issue.
Right.
But if you're escrowing for it, that would take care of it. It just, everything that you do when the buyer is walking up to the house, when they drive past the house, when they see the pictures online, when they pull in the driveway and get out of their car, when they open the front door, every step of that, you want it to be something that encourages them to take the next step. Mm-hmm. So if they drive by and see poor curb appeal, they might not call. If they see the pictures online and see cosmetics that are distasteful to them, they might not call. So
Correct.
The roof is something that you might lose a buyer that you didn't even know was out there because of the roof.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's really cool.
Okay.
I think we should tell everybody about our video that we post every week
What video?
of our show. Because you talk a lot with your hands, and they can't see that.
Okay.
And I sit here and I get to watch it, and you're like to the point with your hands flailing around.
I don't know that I do that.
Right? It's so cool.
I'm going to sit on my hands next week, folks, and we'll see if you can hear the difference.
You're fine using your hands.
You can find a recording of our show every week on our YouTube page, which I don't even know what our YouTube page is. I imagine if you go on YouTube
It's
and you
actually
look
Kelly
up
Warren and Associates.
Kelly Warren and Associates on YouTube, you'll find us. Our
funny.
Facebook page is Facebook.com/Kelly Warren Associates, or you can use the search bar on Facebook for Kelly Warren and Associates, and we have a lot of activity on there. We post not only, I am moving my hands.
I told you.
We post not only our listings, our video tours, we post our radio show each week. We have some tips periodically about lending and spring cleaning and things like that. So it's a great place if you're in the market or thinking about being on the market to find us.
Yeah.
Are we winding down on time?
We
I'm
are.
getting like signals.
Yeah.
So,
We're getting there.
okay, you have time for one more question? Go ahead.
Let's see here. George emailed, I was looking at a house on Zillow, but now it's not there. Where did it go?
Okay, that's an easy question. It probably went under contract. Zillow does this thing where homes that are not on the market are on Zillow. Homes that are active on the market are on Zillow, and homes that have sold and closed are on Zillow. When it's pending or under contract, they vanish.
Yeah.
So that's probably where it is right now.
So I know our MLS, we have to change certain things at certain times. So we do a lot of different stuff. And what winds up happening is if it doesn't hit one of the things that syncs up with Zillow, it does. It just goes away.
Right.
So that's
George,
really
I
cool.
will respond to your email and get the address, and then I'll be able to tell you for sure about that specific house and see if there are any other homes that you're interested in. Anybody who is listening and interested in buying or selling a home, you can give us a call or a text at 330-717-2689. You can find us online all the time at kellysoldit.com.
Can I ask one more question?
Do we have time? Sure.
Okay, cool. What is the best site to search for homes? Someone actually asked us that.
Oh, well, kellysoldit.com. Our site, honestly, is because our site syncs directly from the MLS. So all of those public sites that are advertised to you, Realtor.com and Zillow and all that stuff, they all do take live feeds from somewhere. I do see that there's a little bit of a delay in certain sites.
Right, ours updates as quick as it possibly can.
Actually, the number one best way to do it is to get in touch with us, talk to myself or Jim or any of our agents. We'll set you up on a buyer search directly from the MLS with your exact criteria, and they will email the moment that they come out rather than waiting till they download on a public site.
KellySoldIt.com.
Okay, there you go. Thanks for tuning into Real Estate Radio this week. You can catch us at 4 p.m. today at the Valley Spotlight, or you can check out our open houses. Those are listed online for you at KellySoldIt.com, and they are available today from 1 to 2:30. Thank you and have a great week.
Bye-bye.
If you're thinking about selling your home, call the only agent to trust, Kelly Warren. Kelly guarantees to sell your home or she'll buy it. Call 330-717-2689 or go to kellysoldit.com. Join Kelly for Real Estate Radio every Sunday at 8 on 570 WKBN.